Do you have suppliers that you sometimes pay in advance of receiving the purchase invoice? The payment comes through the bank rec and you're not sure how to deal with it. Well, today I'm going to show you how to input an overpayment to a supplier. Let's dive into Xero and check it out. Okay, we're on our dashboard and we're going to go to our bank rec. And we're going to scroll down and we find a payment to XYZ training for £240. So I'm going to do two things with this payment. It's a payment of an invoice for 120 and it's also an overpayment of an invoice that we haven't received yet. We're making a payment in advance for our training. So we're going to choose find and match because we know that there's an invoice in the system. We can use the search box. So we'll key in XYZ and we'll select an invoice that's been paid. So that's dealt with half of the payment. So what do we do with the 120 that is an overpayment? Well, we're going to select a new transaction and we've spent money. Now the important thing here is to change this from a direct payment and select an overpayment. We want to make sure the overpayment is allocated to XYZ training. It's done that in this instance because it's picked it up from what fed through from the bank rec. If your contact isn't in that box and you want to key it in, the date is fine. We don't need a reference. And there's £120 going straight to the accounts payable code as an overpayment to XYZ. Save the transaction and then just OK to reconcile. So let's have a quick look. We're going to go to reports and aged payables, which shows us what we've got outstanding, and if we scroll down to XYZ we can see that there's minus 120. Clicking it takes us into the details, so we've got an invoice that's been paid and then the minus 120 is an overpayment, and we can click on it and we can see that. Right, so I'm going to show you one further step. What happens when you now get a bill in from XYZ? So we'll just create a new bill. £100 coded to training, that's fine. And we will approve the bill. And here's what happened. Xero knows that there's an overpayment against XYZ, so it asks you, there's an outstanding credit balance, would you like to allocate the credit to this bill? And we would just say allocate. Then we choose the amount. If we had more than one bill, they would be listed, there's only one, and allocate the credit. We'll go back to aged payables. And now you can see that there's nothing outstanding for XYZ. So just a very quick recap. If you make an overpayment, it comes through your bank reconciliation. You want to enter that as an overpayment and make sure it's allocated against your contact. When your contact then invoices you, Xero will prompt you to allocate the overpayment against it. If you find that useful, give us a thumbs up, and why don't you subscribe to the channel so that you'll see the new videos as and when they appear. Until next time, happy xeroing.